Hey guys, welcome to my channel Sengupta's Creation. I am Yona Sengupta, your host and your coach, and today we'll be starting a very new chapter, chapter number 3, which is synthetic fibers and plastics. So we will start automatically. Okay. So we are going to talk about synthetic fibers. Now, what are synthetic fibers? There are two types of mainly synthetic mainly fibers. What are fibers? What are plastics? We will learn. But before that, we will be only learning what are fibers. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so you have already learned that the clothes which we wear are made of fabrics, right? And the fabrics are obtained from fabrics which is artificial or natural sources. Now, can you name some natural fibers? Now, fibers are also used for making a large variety of household articles. Now, what we can do now, you can do this activity of making a list here so that of some common articles made from fibers. Now, you can try to separate them from those into those made from to separate them from natural fibers and those made from artificial uh, fibers. You can make three columns here, like first number name, then in the second column you should write name of the article and then the type of fabric. Is it natural or is it artificial? Okay, now we were talking about fibers. Fibers. So the clothes which we wear are made of fabrics, and fabrics are made from fabrics obtained from natural or artificial, right? So now the types of fabric, which is the first type, is that we will be learning is the natural uh, one. What is the difference? The natural comes from two sources. The natural comes from two sources. The two sources are from an animal and from a plant. So from animal it can be that it can be wool or silk, and from plant it can be cotton. Now these are some examples. Now the synthetic fibers on the other hand are made by human beings. That is why these are called synthetic or man-made fibers, right? So, natural fiber. What is the natural fiber? Natural fiber is a thin thread of natural, which is obtained naturally, not by man made. We don't do anything. Like the wool, which is from the sheep, or the silk from the tree, which is the plant, then the cotton from the plant, silk from the animals. These are all natural, isn't it? It can be or it can be a natural or an artificial substance, especially that is used to make a cloth or a rope. Cloth and a rope. Okay, so mainly again these two can be categorized into two: natural and synthetic fibers. And natural fibers are obtained from natural sources such as animals and plants. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is our synthetic fibers, which we are going to study in this chapter, which is the most important. Okay, so now i- try to recall the uniform pattern found in a necklace of beads joined with the help of a thread, or try to join a number of paper clips together to make a long chain. What does it mean? The fibers made from human beings are called that It is the scientific fibers or man-made fibers or artificial fibers. Now the synthetic fibers are made from different chemicals. Hence each kind of these synthetic fibers have their own properties. Right. Now, many items of clothing contains materials such as polyester, polyamide, terraline, rayon, and etc. Now, I can tell you some synthetic fibers like rayon, nylon. There is polyester and acrylic, uh, and many. Now, the items previously mentioned, uh, these are all man-made fibers and are called synthetic fibers. These are synthetic fibers like polyester, polyamide, nylon, rayon, terraline, then what is it? Acrylic, and etc. etc. Okay. Now, which I was telling you, this activity you can do. Now, you can try to recall the uniform pattern found in a necklace of beads joined with the help of a thread, or try to join a number of clips together to make a long chain. As I'm telling you, you can do it. Is there any similarity in the two? Yes, a synthetic fiber is a chain of small chemical units joined together. Now, each small unit is called a monomer. What is it called? Monomer. On the other hand, what happens, again I'm repeating if you can't understand, many such small units uh, combined is called monomer. Each small unit, one unit. Okay, let me draw it for you. Here here one unit, this is called mono. What does mono mean, guys? Tell me. Here mono means one. Mono means one here. Mer is the synthetic or the fiber. Mono is what? Tell me. Mer is a meaning. Okay, let me tell you. Mer. Wait a minute. Just a second. Let me change the ink color. I can't see anything. Okay. Here, mar means that it is an unit. Unit or a part, single part. Okay, and the poly means here, poly, this part means many, isn't it? As simple as that. So polymer is the word that comes from a Greek word, which means poly here means uh, many, and mar means part or unit. That means many part. Here, whereas mono means one, a single, small units. Each is a small unit. Mono means one. Okay, mono means one. Okay, now let's move on to the next word. Next, which I just was telling you, that poly means many and mer means part or unit. So you can say that a polymer is made up of many repeating units. Many repeating units. Now, since we are talking about synthetic fibers, there are many things like the advantages, disadvantages, and many more, isn't it? There are. So, the advantages, what are the advantages? The advantages are that the synthetic fibers do not depend either on an agricultural crop or an animal farming. Now they are generally very cheaper than the natural because they are man-made, and these synthetic uh, fibers possess unique characteristics which make them popular dress materials, which is used by many of us. Okay, now they also dry up quickly, they are durable, readily available, and very much easy to maintain. Very much easy to maintain. So, these are some of the advantages of them. Now, the disadvantages, since everything comes with both disadvantages and disadvantages both, then it makes a clear picture. Okay, so what are the disadvantages of synthetic fibers? Melt even before burning. So they say, that don't wear synthetic fiber clothes in Diwali, because a little bit fire and it will burn. Now, so also some electrical charge accumulates on the synthetic fibers too. The electrical skin charge causes irritation on the skin too, and extremely hazardous to the environment, and can make you overweight, can make you cold when wet. So comparing, if we compare the synthetics and the natural fibers, natural fiber is way more better than that. On the other hand, synthetic fibers has many disadvantages, which are the main causes. Synthetic fibers are very much on the low price. Okay, next we are going to read about the synthetic fibers. What are the synthetic fibers? Let us learn about it. Okay, now synthetic fibers are of main four, which we'll be learning. The first one you can say here is nylon. Now, what is nylon? Fabric obtained from silk fiber is like was very costly, So it was very costly, but its beautiful texture like fascinated everybody. Okay, so what happened is that attempts were made by people were made to make the silk artificially. So towards the end of the century, what happened? They finally were successful. Now we will read this later, the history how it happened. Next we get is here. mm, Okay, we read about rayon. Okay, nylon. Nylon is also another man-made fiber, which was found using without using any natural raw material, which is from the plant or the animal, and it is like prepared from three main things. What are they? They are. Let me write it down for you. First one is air, then there is coal, and then at last there is water. These three are very important, which makes nylon. This is nylon. These are the main three main substances to make them. Sorry for my handwriting, I don't have the mouse today or the pen today, so I can't write it. It's very important to write it down and make sure. And the third one is polyester. Now polyester is another synthetic fiber or a fabric which made from the fabric which does not get wrinkled easily. And there is also acrylic. Uh, these the wool obtained from the natural sources is like quite expensive, right? So the natural sources is like quite expensive, so whereas clothes made from acrylic are relatively very cheap, isn't it? They are very cheap. Okay, we'll also read about polyester here, about the meaning of this thing, the word polyester here. Okay, so next I will move on with the first, which is the rayon. Today we will be only learning two, which is the rayon and the nylon. Okay, so the first one is rayon. Now, you have already read in our previous class, in class 7 rather, okay, rather, that silk fiber obtained from silkworm was discovered in China and was kept as a closely um, guarded, just a second, as a closely guarded secret for a long time. Now, which was, I was telling you, that fabric obtained from silk fiber was very costly, but its beautiful texture fascinated at everybody. So attempts were made to make silk artificially, and towards the end of the 19th century, what happened? Scientists were successful in obtaining a fiber having properties similar to that of the silk. Now, such a fiber was obtained by chemical treatment of wood pulp, and this fiber was called rayon, or the artificial silk. Okay, now you can say that it absorbs moisture. It is very much comfortable to wear also, though the cellulose. Now, polymers occurs in nature also, right? So cotton, for example, is a polymer called cellulose, right? So rayon is prepared from cellulose too. So cellulose is made up of large number of glucose units. We will learn in our further classes. Okay, so although rayon is obtained from a natural source, which is the wood pulp, rayon, let me mind you that rayon is obtained from a natural wood pulp, but yet it is a man-made thing, because after being obtained, the wood pulp is not the material we are actually using to make the dresses with or getting the fibers like that with wood pulp. It has to be made by man-made, isn't it? So it is a man-made fiber. Thus, it is a man-made fiber. Now, it is very much cheaper than silk and can be woven like silk fibers. Now, it can also be dyed in a wide variety of colors, like dyed in vivid colors, variety, that is variety. And rayon is mixed with cotton to make bedsheet, or mixed with wools to make carpets for that type of texture. Okay, so now let's move on to the properties. What are the properties? First is that it is, wait a minute. First is that easily dyed and woven into a cloth. It's like, it is cheaper than silk, so it is also cheaper than silk and can be woven like silk fibers. It, remember, it is also be dyed in wide variety of colors, and rayon can be like mixed with cotton to make bed sheets, or mixed with wool to make carpets. So, and also I would say that it is a good absorbent of sweat. Okay, and the lustrous in appearance, which I told that uh, this fabric, which was obtained from the silk fiber, was very costly, but it was very much beautiful, like lustrous in uh, appearance. So people tried to make attempts to make the silk artificially, and at the end of the 19th century, they were actually successful in obtaining or making a fiber having the similar properties of the silk, but it is man made. It can be obtained by wood, but it is man made. Okay, so now let's move on to the next, which is the uses of rayon. What are the uses of rayon? It is the first is it can be mixed here. It is mixed with fiberglass to make helmets. Okay, now which I was telling you, dress material because it is very soft, silky, and moisture absorbent. Next is curtains because it wraps it well very much. Bed sheets, carpets, surgical dressings here. You like jackets and track shoes, reinforcing nylon tires, and for luxury cars and office and home furnishings, and many more like that. Now, since we have done with rayon, if anyone has any question about rayon, you can ask me. I will give you I will give you 1 minute so that you can see it. Okay, time's up. Now let's move on to the next part, which is the nylon. Okay, now I would like to ask you, what is a nylon? Okay, nylon is, you can say, another man-made fiber. In how was it obtained? We also need to know that, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes. So you can say that it is in 1931. It was made without using any natural raw material from plant or animal. And how was it prepared? Again, it was prepared by, let me write it down. First is coal. Sorry, coal, air, and sorry for my handwriting, don't mind it. I can't just write without my pen, and it's nor there is the mouse here with me. So these three are the main three materials which are needed to make this. Okay, so it was first fully synthetic fiber. Okay, so what are the like properties of it? Nylon fiber was is like very strong. First is, let me write it down, very strong. It is elastic and light, and it was very much lustrous and easy to wash too. So it became very popular for making of clothes. Now there are many uses of nylon, like there are seat belts, ropes is there, swimming wears, sleeping bags, thread, real thread, upholster, um, stretchable wares, making saris, finding new and fishing lines, track suits, raincoats, and many more there are. But these are the main, like there are socks, also ropes, tents, toothbrushes, even toothbrushes, car seat, belts, sleeping bags, curtains, and etc. etc. So, but here there arises a question. What is the question? Let us see. The question is that, is nylon fiber really so strong that we can make nylon parachutes and ropes for rock climbing. I have been getting this question. So yes, it is very much powerful. It is also really used for making parachutes and ropes for rock climbing. Now you can say a nylon thread is actually more stronger than a steel wire. Okay, how how is it? Can we find it out? Yes, we can find it out. How about we do a activity? This activity is very interesting here. Now what do? We need to take an iron rod with a clamp. Now we have to take a cotton thread of about 60 centimeter. You can measure it with scale or a measuring tape and tie it to the clamp. Okay, clamp, and so that it hangs very much freely. So that it hangs very much freely. So at the free end, suspend a pan, so that hang a pan so that weight can be placed in it. Add weight one by one till the thread breaks, and note down the total weight required to break the thread. Now this weight indicates that the strength of the fiber. Now repeat the same activity with threads of wool, polyester, silk, and nylon. Now you can tabulate them in a your observation in a table, which I will be showing you right here. Here, no, you can note all the threads, and but there is a precaution. Here is a note that all the threads should be important. This is that all the threads should be of the same length and almost the same thickness, so that it's easier. Okay, now arrange the threads in order of an increasing of their increasing strength. Now you may use a hook or a nail on the wall of the hanging the wipers and a polythene bag at the other end. Now what will happen? In place of weights, you may use marbles or pebbles of similar size too. But again, here is also a precautions. Note that all the threads should be of the same length and of the same thickness. Okay. So what is the conclusion from it? Here it is the you can see there is a total of weight and conclusion from this activity. This is the first activity we are doing of activity number 3.1. So the thing is that cotton, wool, silk, nylon. Cotton can be can break through 12 gram. Wool can be break through 70 grams, silk can be braided to 50 gram, and nylon can be braided to 10 grams. So here the task is that it should be arranging in that increasing order. So first is cotton, silk, wool, and nylon. Nylon can hold the most, then the wool, then the silk, and then the so first, second, third, and fourth here. Okay, so done now. So now we know that synthetic fibers are more durable than fibers. Okay, so I guess this is the end of my class. Thank you and have a nice day. If you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I am online, you can join me too. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.